Outreach is checking on the welfare of the people who have been impacted by disasters and making sure that they have the information that can help them in their recovery.
It involves forming teams and getting together and door-to-door knocking.
Visiting people really in their homes after they've been affected or their area has been affected by some sort of disaster.
For me, it's actually going out there, visiting people and getting them to understand that somebody really cares.
Gives communities a chance to access to those resources that they're not either aware of or they're unable to get to.
There's a briefing, a really comprehensive briefing. We're given a bit of a history of what's happened, both obviously the incident but what's been happening since then.
This is either done by the Red Cross or it might be done by the lead agency, sometimes combined briefings and sometimes just us. We're going to actually concentrate on these 2 blocks here this morning. If we get these done, we might do these later on today. So are you all very experienced in doing outreach? So who is new? Year 3. So we're going to have to team you guys up with the experienced people for today. So if I can just give you this map, this is for your team. You're doing that red area, yeah? And your team is doing the green area. And you can organize how you put your teams together. For lunch, we're going to meet in Apex Park, which is this big park in the middle here, at 12 o'clock. So just make sure you put your little packages together. But before you go out, you should definitely all read through them so you know what we're actually talking about. Okay, you have to stay in regular contact with your particular team leader. On your sign-in sheet, put your phone number on there. I'm going to have this number. And then every hour, if one of you can call me and just tell me what's happening.
We took out whatever booklets were relevant, looking after themselves after a flood, how to clean up after a flood. We had a certain number of children's colouring books with some colour pencils and teddies for the kids.
We do have the actual templates and forms that we need to fill out. We have all the resource information, so information that are released by government departments for grants.
And then get their own stuff together like food and drink, sunscreen, mosquito repellent, hats, uniforms, and then off they go.
With the outlying places, we had cars and drove to the main area in the town, and we divided the areas up so that there was no area that was done twice. 2 teams of 2 doing one street, one on each side of the street.
Generally, you go up, introduce yourself. I'm the Red Cross.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you going?
Good, thanks.
We're just Megan Lees from Red Cross. We're just checking on people after the floods.
And they'll be in the area and want to provide them some information about where they can get help for the disaster.
We usually have a small talk.
The sun's come out today.
We suss out how the person feels.
It's beautiful and hot, isn't it?
You lived here long?
I think that's really important to get that rapport early and to help them identify their immediate needs.
So did you get much damage here? Or?
No, we were lucky.
Most people were happy to see us, didn't feel as though they need any assistance, and frequently would let us know who would be likely to need assistance. Are you checking on so-and-so?
I did hear a neighbour down there though, a couple of doors down. I think the storm water blocked up and they had some damage from that.
Just sort of let them know, well, there's a recovery centre open in town. Here's some information you may like to read. You may be able to get some help that you don't realise that you can get.
I found that there were a few people that we met who seemed to be the community leaders, and they knew who was in trouble and who wasn't, and there always seems to be those sort of people. And if you can find those people, you're in business.
We're advised not to go into places where the gardens are overgrown or where we have any sense of danger.
Don't go to a door if you can't get through the rubbish at the front. Don't go in if there's unrestrained dogs there.
Is your dog friendly?
Yes, it's good boy.
Basically, the whole thing is that if you don't feel safe or it feels like a risk, don't do it.
We just wanted to drop by to see if there's any way we can help you.
No, we're okay at the moment. I've got family close by, so they'll be down to help.
I mean, usually you have pre-packed sort of packs and you give it all them, but I usually try and pull out the one that's actually relevant to them after we figure that out during a conversation.
I'll leave that with you. It'll cover 2 things. It'll talk about the effect on the family, but it also talks about cleaning up because that mould is pretty hard to get rid of.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks very much
All
for
right.
that. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
We have forms that you fill out, like if they were home or if they were not home, and then if you refer them, there's a separate list. And you collate them at the end and then pass them on either to the lead agency or to the incident management team. Write very clearly and fill them out completely, please. Otherwise it's really hard to collate them afterwards and very hard to follow up on any recommendations or referrals.
It's been a bit tough, yeah, been without power now since it all happened, from living out of the Eski, so.
If you think there's going to be a referral, there's another form that needs to be filled in.
Up at the recovery centre, there are a group of people there who can help you. If you don't mind, we can take some details and one of them come down and have a talk to you.
Of course, you need to talk to the person and make sure the person is happy for a referral to be made and get them to sign the referral form.
Yeah, well, that'd be great, yeah.
Okay.
This is just to say that you're saying it's okay for us to pass on your details.
Right.
It provides an opportunity, particularly for those that are most vulnerable, to get support.
I mean, for me, this is much more important than just visiting everybody, that we actually get out there and find the people that really need our help.
We make sure we take notes of those properties that we haven't been able to get access to so that we can revisit. We leave a note, we have a call card, simply stating that Red Cross are doing recovery at that area. Please give us a call back.
We had pre-packed lunches, sandwiches, cake, drinks.
We have plenty of regular catch-ups, lots of debriefing. We do have phones on us so that we can call, so we do have someone supporting us.
The forms for each house would come back to be collated at the end of the day, mark down how many houses had been to and how many were inundated, take out any referrals, check if there have been any problems that they've come across, that any of the team have come across, and generally make sure that everybody is okay.
Well, for me the important part is that people feel comfortable with what they have seen, what they have done. Since it can be quite confronting sometimes, if you suddenly have somebody break down in front of you and relive the experience of a big storm or something, and people get affected. So you have to, make sure they're okay, that that's their experience and their reactions are normal. The other thing is, I actually like people to tell me if there's any problems or if there's anything we can do better than we did that particular day, just so we learn as we do it.
I think it's really important to have a great team leader, having someone that you can talk to, someone that you can rely on, and someone who is possibly feeding information through to you.
Generally, I think leadership style that sort of brings everybody in and makes them part of making decisions is much better. But for me, that seems to work best, especially with volunteers. These people aren't there to be told what to do exactly. They actually are there to help.
It's a brilliant experience. It's definitely an experience that I think one would never forget.
For me, it's just being in another place and getting a sense of other people and their lives.
Just knowing that we make a difference, knowing that we can help people who are in their times of need, and we get as much out of it as we give them, I think.